All right, good afternoon. Sorry for the delay in setting this up, but I'm really excited to be here. So my name is Anirudh Srivastav. I'm the Chief Architect for Google Cloud in India. And in the next 30 minutes, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about how Google has been evolving AI and some of the use cases that will be relevant for you as the chartered accountants. So with that, I'm going to spend maybe 5 minutes to talk through some of the slides, but then I would actually jump straight into some live demos. So instead of showing videos, I think it will be really sort of good to see the actual live demos. And I'm taking the brave effort to really sort of just get that live. So we've been, at Google, at AI, we've been, spending last 20 years to really sort of, define this whole momentum around AI. So it started with something called as a transformer model, which, we worked in our labs, and now Google actually made that as an open source. And today, a lot of the generative AI, models that you see today, it's been all evolved through transformer model. And so our journey started, as I said, about 2 decades back. We've got multiple researchers working on AI. And through that journey, we have been able to bring out multiple AI models. Gemini is the most recent model that we have actually come out with, and it has gone through multiple versions in the last year and a half. So you could see the evolving field of AI, and the speed at which it is evolving is just humongous. And so Gemini has actually gone through these 3 versions. Today we have Gemini 2.5, which is a completely multimodal model, and it actually sort of takes inputs in all modalities, whether it is the text, audio, or video. Google has again been the biggest contributor to the open source. So everything that you see today, whether it is TensorFlow, PyTorch, Kubernetes, transformer model, all of this is something that Google actually sort of created within their labs or within our internal teams, and then eventually made that to be an open source so that the industry can evolve, and then of course everybody can use that to their particular use. And then on the 4th column, I think I don't need to talk about that. It is everything that you are using on a day-to-day basis. These are planetary scale applications, which today consumes AI in every one of them. And then it all is hosted on a world-class infrastructure, which actually powers all of these platforms and the cloud that we actually sort of have come up with. This is the end-to-end platform that we use. So basically, for everything and anything that you want to do with AI, in Google Cloud specifically, you actually use something called as Vertex AI, which actually leverage, or which actually caters to all the different kind of audience, whether it is the data scientists or data engineers who are actually building the base foundational models, or there could be users who actually sort of want to train their existing foundational models. So you could actually sort of look at that. And then there are a third kind of users who actually wants to use the pre-trained models as an API. So we provide all of that through this Vertex AI platform. And not only that we provide our first party model, which we call Gemini, but we also provide a platform where we curate all the open source models and some third-party models. So you would see on the right-hand side names like Anthropic or Osmo, Snorkel, Hugging Face. So we actually sort of take all of these models, curate them, and make it so easy for you to use so that in case if you want to use some third-party or open source model, you should be able to do it very quickly. What I'm going to be talking in most of my session today, and will show you some demo, is something that we launched very recently called Google Agent Space. And the key objective here is to empower organizations with employee productivity. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. with a, instead of showing slides, I would actually switch to demos to really sort of show you the capabilities of how it would actually empower your organizations, your employees in their day-to-day job. So let me just go there. But before I go there, I just wanted to quickly give you a quick overview of what are the things that it actually lets you do. So first of all, it brings the capabilities of Google search with specific data that you may have for your organization, and it has actually enabled Google search with an AI capability. Apart from that, it is natively multimodal, and then it is a one-stop shop for first-party and third-party enterprise agents. So it actually lets you use the existing agents that Google provide or some of our partners provide, but it also lets you create your own agents. So I'll actually sort of show you that. And then, of course, you have a lot of data on the internet, but you have your own data. So is there a way that you could use connectors to power your agents so that it uses your existing data, whether it is in a structured format or an unstructured format? So you should be able to use your existing applications to power the data for your agents. And then, of course, it comes with the enterprise-grade security and compliance, which is, I think, very, very important today, right? So we ensure that all your data is within the walls of your organization's instance of the cloud. It actually is being certified. We have compliances across globally, and in India, it is MITRE certified. And then we provide role-based access. We ensure that the data residency is within the country, so we bring in the data sovereignty. And of course, responsible AI is again a practice that was started within Google. And so we came up with the responsible AI best practices and principles, which has now become a de facto standard for the industries to follow. So with this, I'm going to switch gears, and I'm going to show you a use case. I mean, all of these use cases I'm going to go through, which would be relevant in your day-to-day work. So whether it is a search or question answers, summarization, some of the financial data analysis and data visualization. I'm going to also show you how you could interact with your data. Very, very powerful stuff. So let me just quickly jump to that. So this is the agent space that I was actually referring to. I just need to make sure that my internet is good so that I could actually sort of connect. Okay, great. So this is the interface that you would see. Now, as you would notice, it is personalized to me as the user, Anirudh, right? So you would see that it is, right from the get-go, we've ensured that there is a security and privacy that has been taken care of by really making sure that only Anirudh, who has access to certain data, will be used for answering questions, right? So let's first take a good example. So basically, let me just show you different sources that it is using to get the data. Now, here, for our demo purpose, what I've done is I've actually sort of created some of these data sources. So it is actually going to pull data from my email, from my calendar, and then what I've done is, in all the organization, you will have a knowledge repository. So in this case, I've actually sort of created a repository in which I've already sort of pushed some PDF files, right? So whether it is the budget speech of 2025, the new finance bill 2025, income tax bill. So all that I've done is I've just uploaded that so that we can actually sort of see how this particular agent or this particular tool could actually use just your data to answer your specific questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable the email and the calendar for the time being, and I'm going to actually ask specific questions, right? So for the demo, what I'm going to use is I will say key changes in the new Income Tax Act. Now, like the way I told you that I'm actually, I already have that document in my repository. All that I will do is I'll just take that as the question, and it will go to that repository, find the relevant documents, and using those relevant documents, it is actually sort of going to generate a response, which is actually the key changes that has been brought in the income tax bill. Now, I just want to make sure that the internet works well. So while it is actually pulling, what it is doing is it is actually sort of just going through the different documents, and it could be many, many documents that you would have, and it will actually sort of generate the response and then show you. Now, the other way to look at this is, sometimes you want to also go to the internet to get the response from your from the internet, not just the documents that you have, but also the internet as well. This internet is not working. Let me just switch. No, hold on. Let me use mine. Okay, while it is doing this, so this is the response, right? So basically, if you see, what it has done is it has actually sort of highlighted all the key changes that has been brought in through the new Income Tax Act, and it is actually sort of highlighting the reduced complexity, the clearer languages, and what you would also notice is that it is actually using the content from your repository, right? So this is one of the key sort of feature. Apart from that, I could also ask the same question in my native language. So my native language, incidentally, is Hindi. So I could actually sort of ask the same question in Hindi, and though the content is in English, what it is going to do is to generate the same response in Hindi. And I could actually sort of continue to do this for Marathi as well. Apart from this, what I'm also going to show you is that there, always you would struggle to sort of get a lot of data. Now, there is a lot of data that is available. And so how do you really summarize the key points that you want to get? So in this case, I'm actually sort of going to get, so I already have the budget speech of this year. And so what I want to do is to get the key points and let the model actually summarize the key points from this budget speech, which is a almost like a 50-page document. And so I just want to quickly sort of just see the summary of that particular, what are the key points in that budget speech. And so what it will do is it will quickly sort of just go there and bring out the key points from the budget speech, yeah? And then, sorry. The Murphy laws is actually sort of playing on me right now. All right, so this is the summary that we have actually sort of got. Now, what I'm actually also going to do is, I want to send this summary to somebody on the email. So instead of going to a different tool, I just want to go and just write this as a prompt, and what it will do is it will actually sort of generate all of that summary that I just got, and it will convert that into an email, and it will make sure that I could just go ahead and send this mail, right? So if you see, what it has done is it has first picked up the email ID, and then it has given some subject, and then of course, it has actually sort of taken all of that summary that has been created, and I could just go ahead and send that mail, yeah? So you don't leave the interface, and you could just go ahead and just send the emails right there. Not only that, what it will let you do is that you could always also generate a calendar invite, right? So I want to set up a meeting with somebody, and I just want to send them a calendar invite. So let's say in this case, I want to send a calendar invite for tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. For 30 minutes to discuss the highlights, right? So what it will do is, again, without leaving this interface, it will actually sort of connect with whatever your calendar is, and it will generate the invite, and then all that I have to do is authorize, and it will just go ahead and, let me just quickly authorize. So it will actually sort of just go in and ensure that my calendar actually gets updated with the invite. So what you could see is that there is, these kind of tools which actually lets you, without leaving this interface, lets you do all of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Now, whatever I've shown you till now is, this knowledge repository that you have in your organization, or you have, some questions that you want to, get from the internet data. Instead of that, let's say if I want to research on a particular topic, so let's say, I want to, let's say, do some research on the income tax bill that we've just got recently. What you could do is you could just come to Notebook LM, and it will let you create a new notebook. And within that notebook, you could add the different data sources. Now, this data source could again be multimodal. It could be multilingual. And so here what I've done is I've actually sort of just taken some YouTube videos, some articles which is available on the internet. I've also uploaded some of the content from my own document repository. So let me just show you some of the examples here. So for example, this one is a YouTube video, right? And it is a YouTube video which is available publicly. What it is actually done here is it has taken that YouTube video and created a summary, and it is also highlighting what are the key topics, right? Similarly, I could just go to any of the sources and can actually see, the summary of all the content that is there in a particular source. It is as easy as you clicking choose file, and it will pick your content from, whatever file that you have in your hard drive, or it could go to a Google Drive, or you could go to a particular website, right? So here I just go to a particular website, I paste my URL, or I could just quickly sort of go into a YouTube video. Similarly, I could just copy paste a text from, I liked some article on the internet, I could just copy paste that content. Not only that, what it will also let you do is, let's say you want to, do a quick search on a particular topic. So let's say if I want to do, search on, from the internet, some content that would be relevant for my research. So what I'll do is I'll say income tax latest bill, and then I just click submit. It will go through the internet and it will pull the relevant content that you will find from the internet with just a simple prompt, right? And it will actually list down all of these content, which I could go ahead and import into my repository. Now, with all of this, you would notice with the addition of the content, it is actually generating a summary of all of the sources. Right now, I have 21 sources, and it has generated a summary of all of these sources. And what it has done is that it has created a summary, and it has actually sort of curated all of this content so that then you could actually start asking questions again. So for example, here, one of the questions that it is actually recommending, while I can ask different questions, let's just go with this. So what are the key focus areas and major reforms within the India income tax bill? Right, so with that, what it is doing is, it is actually, again, using only the sources that we have here, it is going to go and respond to the specific questions that you have, right? So I could continue to ask specific questions, but we do not stop there. So this is more of a text version, right? And this, again, will take all kind of Indian languages that we have. What we've also done is, a lot of times people want to hear a podcast for them to understand the topic much better. And so what we've done is we've actually sort of created this podcast, and I could actually sort of, listen to this podcast.
A national budget or a finance bill. It's not just one document.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting the voice.
Huge stack, just a mountain of really complex details, numbers, legal stuff. It could feel pretty overwhelming. But what if you could slice through all that noise, get right to the important bits, the actual insights? Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. This is our deep dive into the new budget speech for 2025, the Finance Bill 2025, and also the Income Tax Bill 2025. Our mission here is simple. Pull out the most vital nuggets of knowledge, just for you, our listeners, so you're genuinely informed without, drowning in the details.
And it's really important to grasp the scale here. These aren't just abstract numbers. They're basically the government's detailed plan for the financial year 2025-26.
So you would notice that it has taken all of this content and has converted this into a podcast. So I could actually listen to this podcast, and now it doesn't stop there as well. Now I have a question, and I want to talk to these two people who are in the podcast and ask my questions, right? So let me just quickly do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sort of pick a question. So let's say I do, how does it impact the retail investor? Yeah.
They map out some really key changes, everything from tax policy to the economy. Oh, wait, someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
So how does it impact the retail investors?
That's a fantastic question, and one we absolutely want to address for you.
Yeah, that's key. We'll definitely explore how these changes impact individuals, including retail investors, as we go.
We'll be looking at things like capital gains and other investment-related provisions a bit later.
Exactly. So for now, let's keep setting the stage.
These documents cover everything from tax policy to the economy, even how, tax disputes get sorted out.
We'll dig into what's actually in these documents and, crucially,
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
So how does this bill simplify the tax slabs that we have?
That's a great follow-up question. The short answer is yes, simplification is a stated goal.
yeah, that's what they're aiming for, especially with the new tax regime.
If we look at the income,
So I hope you get the sort of point that we are trying to sort of bring that. Now, you could imagine the kind of interactions that you could do, and you could always sort of ask questions, not just by writing your text, but you could always sort of ask these questions. Apart from this, it also gives you other tools. A lot of people are, good with visuals, and so you could always sort of, with all of this data, it has actually sort of generated a mind map. And now with the mind map, I could actually sort of drill it down further to a specific question. So let's say in this case, the income tax amendments of sections. And it will again sort of pull all the content from there, and it will show you the specific, amendments that has been done in the different sections, right? So you would see it has actually sort of pulled all of that content from there. And then you could build timelines, right? So it will actually sort of show you the chronological order of all the content that it is pulled from. And so in this case, the income tax bill, and how it is actually sort of created, it has been created over a couple of months. And then the cast of characters, right? So it will also point the different cast of characters that are associated with this particular thing. So the key point is that it is actually helping you to do a research through different point of views and can sort of, get into the details of that. Now, let's switch to how do we really sort of, so this is all the information that you're getting. Now I want to sort of do some action. And so, as I said, it is very simple to create agents within Google Agent Space. So it could be as simple as, just going here and just clicking on Create Agent, and it gives you give the agent a name. What is the goal of your agent? And then just give the instruction in simple English. And what it will do is it will actually sort of create an agent. Now, for the demo purpose, what I did was I created an agent, so that we can show you how easy it is to actually sort of create these agents. Now, what I did was exactly what I just showed you. And so here we have an agent which actually lets you do the financial, the analysis of some of the financial data. So for the demo purpose, what I did was I actually sort of pulled some financial data of HDFC Bank. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just upload their results, the quarterly results. So for quarter 3 and quarter 4 FY25. And then I'm going to start asking specific questions around that, right? So let me just quickly pick one question. What is the total income earned? And so you see it is actually sort of pulling, basically just uploading the documents, and it's processing at the back before it starts asking questions. Just bear with me. And you could sort of keep on adding as many documents as you need to, sort of get the answers from. And it will take any kind of formats again, whether it is, the text data, audio, video, or specifically XLS files, or, a simple CSV file. So you could just, push any kind of data that you want. And so, this particular, the results, the earnings document that we have, it looks something like this. So it's a simple PDF file with the quarterly results, right? So I have two of those, as I showed before. And you would see that it is basically the Q3 and the Q4, the earning reports that we have, right? Now with that, what I'm going to do is I'll just ask simple questions like what is the total income earned? It will go through that document, that two documents that it has, and you would notice that it is actually a PDF file. So it is converted that into a specific format. So basically it is able to sort of extract out all the data, and using that data, it will actually start generating response. So you would see that it has actually sort of pulled out some of these specific data around the quarterly results. So standalone total income for the quarter, quarter ended December 31st is 87,000 crores. And so we could always sort of continue to, sort of pull information from that. Now let's say I want to know how does it compare to the 2024 results. So I could just specifically mention that, and it will, go ahead and again sort of process that data. So the key point again here is that you could always, play with this and can answer specific questions, which otherwise you would actually have to go through and sift through all of these information. Similarly, I could ask not just about the specific data, but what I could also ask is what are the factors that is contributing to this income increase. So at one point of time, you would see that summary comparison, and it is actually saying that there is a healthy financial performance for the bank reflecting the increasing earning across its operations. So I want to know what are the factors that is contributing to this income increase. So not just processing of the numbers, but it would also use all the data to then come up with what are the actual factors which is contributing to the increase. So it is actually able to do reasoning and analysis of the data to generate the response from these documents. I'll continue to do this. I can also calculate, can you show the percentage change in the consolidated net profit? So this is basically, so it is actually sort of, said that there is a significant increase in the total income, and it is said that it is because of the merger with HDFC Limited, and then some specific data points, which is increased interest earned, growth in the consolidated other incomes, and in summary, it is actually sort of trying to say that it is the scale and the scope of operations which is actually contributed to the increased income. I could also calculate the percentage change, so it will do the actual calculation to get to that particular change, right? So you could understand the way things are, becoming much, much easier to process and create analytics on top of your data. And apart from that, I could also use a simple balance sheet in a Excel form or a sheet form or a CSV form, and it will start generating responses like this, right? So this is another way. Now, what we also want to show you is how do we really, sort of, a lot of times you want to see the visualization of the data, which actually helps to, understand the data much better. So here what we have done is we have actually sort of created some of these prompts for you. So which means that you could just pick a prompt from here instead of writing it from the scratch, but you could always write the prompt from the scratch itself, right? So here I have this sample prompt, which will take a CSV or an XLS file, and it will let you create graphs and bars and, visualization of the data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sort of upload a balance sheet of HDFC Bank in the Excel form. And using that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the model to go and create a bar graph of the total shareholder funds year over year, which is what is mentioned in the balance sheet, right? So it is actually going to take that data and it will convert that into a bar graph. It will pick all the data points. It will actually sort of find the specific data points, and it will actually just go ahead and draw, the graph. So this is the graph that gets generated. Now the interesting thing is you can copy this image and can put it into your report, or you could always sort of download this and can do this, right? Now, I also want to see, these bar graphs does not give me the value of what was the actual value in 2023. So I could just go ahead and put a simple prompt which says, add the data points on the top of the bar, and it will just quickly draw that with the data points on top of the bar, right? And then I could actually sort of, if I want to get some additional data from the balance sheet and add that to my chart, I could always sort of do that as well, right? So, okay, it's taking a little while. Let me just do this. So basically, because of the internet issue, I'm not able to sort of get the performance that I need. But I'm running this on my hotspot, so you could imagine the kind of things. But I'm sort of very happy that it is still able to work with all the sort of data that I'm pushing into it. So here you would see that it is actually sort of taken the data points. At the same time, with just a simple prompt, I'm able to get the different sort of data from the balance sheet and show it in the graph, right? Now, I also want to see, so instead of the bar chart, I don't like the bar chart, I want to see the line chart. I could just go ahead and, draw the line graph, and it will actually sort of let me draw the same data points in a different representation. I could actually go one step forward and can ask for the model to give me, what is the best way to highlight the key performance indicator, which is the best visualization technique. Now see, if you see here, it is actually sort of drawn the line graph, and then it is also giving you some insights from the data, right? So if you see, it is actually sort of created this in the tabular format as well, and then it is actually telling you some specific insights of the data, right? So now I'm asking the model, okay, I think that maybe the line graph is a good way to present this data, but are there other ways that I could look at to represent this KPI data? And so it is giving you different recommendations on what can you actually sort of use to have a much better representation of data in the graph. And then, once I've got all of this graph done, I want to also see some insights from this analysis. So I sort of take all of this data and then generate insights from this analysis. So it is actually sort of telling, how, based on the analysis of the total shareholder funds and the deposits, what are the different highlights? And so you could see the significant consistent growth, the dominance of deposits, strong customer trust. All of this is something that it is actually sort of trying to generate as an insight from the data that it is pulling. And right now, it is only the balance sheet, right, that it is using. So we could continue to, sort of go ahead and do this. So I hope this gives you a view to how easy it is for you to leverage AI. And this is something that I'm showing you, which has been built without actually doing any kind of coding. Now, I could get very creative in extending this platform by really sort of integrating my existing, line of business applications or some sort of, CRM tool that you have, or maybe some financial analytics tool that you have. You could always sort of use all the data, all the logics from that, integrate into this agent. So I think that is the key point that I wanted to drive home with this session, and I hope it gives you some more way to think about how you could leverage this tool in the best possible way in your day-to-day work. We do have a stall which has been set up over the last 2 days, and today also we have a stall outside. So please feel free to go and go to the stall and play with this tool, which is already available there, and ask questions. We have our partner Ishan Networks, who have actually sort of been working with us on really sort of bringing out these tools, capabilities for chartered accountants firms. So please talk to them. They will be coming to the stage after this session, and will show you some more details. So with that, thank you so much. And I guess, I don't know if I have time to ask or give answers to questions. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Mr. Anand Trivedi ji to please come on the stage and take over the next session.
Okay. Thank you. No, no.
अभी मत लगाइएगा मैं सेटअप कर लूँ नहीं दूसरा ये वाला
दिखेगा नहीं लगा देखो दिखेगा नहीं
नहीं दिखेगा
Dear delegates, we also invite you all to be the part of our digital movement. Let's work together to make our summit using our official hashtag AIS2025 trend on Twitter and other social platforms. Share your key takeaways, pictures, and moments for the event using the hashtag. Let's create a digital buzz that truly reflects the energy and innovation that we are witnessing here. Thank you.
Hey, hi. Good noon, everyone. So, what I bring today here is basically I bring a concept. We have been hearing, I did attend a few wonderful sessions, and we have been hearing about a lot of things like LLMs and whatnot, basically, and the problems that come with LLMs, right? Hallucinations, they don't give the right output. The output is not right, although they are progressing day by day, right? Now, first, like I said, I'm trying to actually bring a small concept towards you, something, from the future. I am a dreamer and I keep on dreaming and I keep on building things. I have around a total of 15 years of experience in building AI, when AI was not even a buzzword, right? I am author of a book that says how to build your own models and large language models from zero, from scratch. I have been founding member at one of the startups. We were one of the very earliest companies to release models back in 2019 that used to scan any financial document, do the two-way, three-way matching, store it into the database without any human intervention. That means obviously there was around 92 to 93% of accuracy, 7% of check was there. But yes, I mean, we were one of the earliest companies to release this kind of solution back in 2019. And we did ran it on, no GPUs. We did ran the solution on CPUs, selling it to a lot of prestigious customers. And now, obviously, that solutions have been upgraded and we have moved on. Apart from that, I have experience in building these LLMs or these models from zero. I play with these models. I mean, I play with the different types of models. I pre-train small models. I have a small server being set up at my home since quite long, where I keep on playing with all of these things. And hence, there is a small, when I was actually attending the session yesterday, there was a small slide I introduced yesterday night. So a small introduction, which I actually tell to all of my clients. Now, as of now, like I have started freelancing and basically consulting clients how to implement AI, which AI will be best for you, right? I have spent around, again, 10 years into AI building for legal contracts and invoices. And these are sensitive documents. The moment you send it to the cloud, you have breached some of the clauses, right? And hence, there are multiple companies that are really concerned about where is my data going. And if you do not know that if your data is getting stored, if your data is not getting stored, you do not know, right? And hence, it becomes difficult to trust. So it becomes difficult to trust for companies that where is your data going. So since past 7 to 8 years, what I have done is I have been building solutions where the data stays in your system. The solutions are not costly. They are, they don't have to be over costly, and you can just get to your aim with, within the limited budget. Now, basically, AI is not just about large language models like it is being marketed nowadays, right? Sorry for dropping some of the truth bombs, but I think, it is necessary. Like, I have been building AI from, 15 years now, and like I said, in 2019, I built all of those models. There was no large language model. Now, just a common understanding for all of you. Large language model specializes in language, right? Model understands only numbers, right? It understands only numbers. So you can choose to feed your numbers directly to the model, or the choice is you can choose numbers to you can choose text to convert it into numbers and then give you the result. Right? So basically, a lot of resource is spent for these models to understand these like nuances of English language or whichever language it has. And then in English language, you have the problem, one sentence can mean multiple things. One sentence can mean multiple things. And this is where the problem of hallucination arises. Right? So what I'm trying to say is, how does this hallucination arises? And basically, when we are working with numbers, why do we always have to fit your use case inside the LLMs, if it could have been done otherwise also? Now, having said that, is it the case? Obviously, with LLMs, all of you can just go to any ChatGPT prompt and you can build some prototypes for yourself. But yeah, obviously, so obviously, when you have to, building these models, you will have to get some agency, or you'll have to get some software engineer to build it, because obviously, with LLMs, you can go ahead and you can definitely give your data to them, and they can build a prototype around it. Now, again, building a complete end-to-end solution definitely requires a lot of orchestration, lot of flows and everything, which breaks now and then. Now, LLM, large language models, like I said, you might be seeing a lot of examples where very simple questions, large language models fail to understand, right? How many R are there in the strawberry? Very common thing on LinkedIn, it used to circulate. Why is that happening? A model that is so smart, a model that is so intelligent is failing on these things, right? Because model gives you an illusion of thinking. Model is not thinking. Let me put it very straightforward. Model does not think. Models are big statistical mapping engines that map your input to output in the training data. So sometimes there may be a case that they might have missed something in the training data, and hence they are not producing that output. Now, this also drives to point number 2, that a model that might have been trained on something else and you trying to do something else from that, how much sense does it make? I mean, obviously, some of these models like Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude are very capable models. But, I mean, we are hitting, why are these models so cheap as of now? Because obviously they want your data. They want more data because with the data, the training grows and they become more smarter, right? So basically, you will have to, for your custom use cases, you will have to either small fine-tune it, right? Or you will have to need a small customized solution for yourself that will be cheaper. It may not be always cheaper. Because customization comes with a cost. Customization is not free of cost. Customization comes with a cost, and obviously it requires technical skills. But I'm just here to give some facts around here before just beginning my session. On top of that, yeah, obviously, we have already talked about it, that public cloud LLMs, your data is gone in a big well, and then you don't know where is it gone. I mean, in our cases, I mean, if we do it with any of the legal contracts data, I mean, we are blown up. I mean, so we could not do it. Depends on your customers' data, how friendly you are to share the things or not. Now, coming to the demonstration point. So, what the point is, I am demonstrating this now out of my other tasks. It took me around 3 to 4 days to put up this demonstration. I worked over some nights, but the whole idea was to come up with an AI solution, that reflects some of the important points. Important points like no data is going outside my system, not even an inch of data is going outside my system, not even a single row of data is going outside my system, right? I am using AI agents, but those AI agents sit on my system, right? Now, I will just go to my dashboard. Okay, here I have. So basically, this is a very custom tailored demonstration that I have made, for the audit purpose. If this session was 2 years earlier, I would have demonstrated invoice getting scanned up just right away. But I guess now many of the solutions have this solution that invoice, as soon as you click a photo of the invoice or you send a photo of invoice to your email ID, it automatically gets ingested into your system. And if you send any document or contract, it automatically gets ingested. But now the stakes are high. What we want is, I want my AI to do things for me. I mean, this is the whole point. So what I have done, I already have a bunch of invoices here, sitting here, and I have been playing it since 2 to 3 days. This is all the data I have. So what I have done, I have scanned all of the invoices using AI, right? I have all of these invoices sitting here in my system. I did not spend the time in AI extraction because, like I said, this is a common use case nowadays. Many of you might already be doing, and many of you might be thinking to do next. However, but what is the case that this is my AI chat? This is I built it. This is not Gemini or ChatGPT. Let me go ahead and ask, hey, pardon? So basically, like I said, I just created it in 3 days, right? So this is a concept that I'm trying to demonstrate. This is not a product that I'm trying to showcase. This is a concept. Like I said, I'm a dreamer. I keep on imagining things. Last week, I was presenting something else in a different conference. So yeah. So basically, it is saying that I'm doing great, ready to help you with invoices and contracts. Just a reminder, I operate locally on your system, so your data is always safe. Like I said, the whole point was, we had a fine discussion on hallucinations. We had a fine discussion on my data going out. And like personally, I also have been dealing with the customers who don't want, and especially European and US customers are very fierce that where is my data actually sitting? They don't even want that their data should be stored at any other region which is not informed to them. Now, like I said, hey, how are you? So I would just ask, so what can you do? All right. So I just asked this, what can you do? It says, I can help you with tasks like finding anomalies or running investigations and automating audit tasks on your invoices and contracts. I run locally on your system again. Okay, it is saying again. Now, basically what the whole point that what I want this thing, so this is one point from where I want all of my tasks to be done. Now, this AI knows my data that is on my system, right? It doesn't has to take my data to ChatGPT or any other model and then come back. It doesn't has to do that. My AI agents are sitting here, right? My data is sitting here. So show me my top 10 vendors. Okay, it says, what do you want to do? It says, I have identified that you are actually trying to do something. It says, do you want me to access, do something? Okay, it says, and this is not a fake demo. I mean, the reason it is so fast, because obviously, like I said, it is a demonstration first and foremost thing, a limited number of functions I'm trying to demonstrate. That, okay, it says top 10 vendors by invoice count are these are your top 10 vendors. And again, like I have taken some sample data. And then I would like to say that, okay, next I would like to do is go ahead and, or I have my invoices data, find anomalies and risk in my invoices data for past, let's say 3 to 4 years. Right, find risk in my invoices for 3 to 4 years. Again, it is going. What it says, again, I have identified that you are trying to do something, right? And I say it's start, okay? And again, it is fast. It is fast because I'm just having 600 invoices in my system. The agent is already sitting in my system. It is utilizing my system resources. And it says 378 invoices. And you know what it has done? It has given me an overview of my invoices, any of top 5 by vendor values. It has tried to give me the compliance issues, if at all it has identified any missing client tax data or something, right? It has tried to identify. Now, this is a general compliance. Now, my AI data should learn on my mistakes, like my AI data is supposed to, or my AI is supposed to make some mistakes. Definitely, it is going to make some mistakes. Now, since it is going to make some mistakes, so the future is, which I could not build it, basically, I wanted to demonstrate that basically, okay, I did not like this. Now, what you should do is, I'll give a feedback to my AI, and my AI learns instantaneously. Now, so the next time after 5 to 10 minutes maybe, or maybe after 15 to 20 minutes, my AI says that, okay, hold on, I'm learning this thing, right? I'll take some like 20, 25 minutes, or maybe, it depends on the task you have given it. It says that, okay, I'm trying to accommodate to it, and it will accommodate, and basically it will come here. Then, okay, any specific trends, it has identified them. Pricing and tax, if any pricing and tax anomalies were found, it has even found out that. Any tax calculation discrepancies, it has found out that. Now, these may not be pitch perfect, right? They might have some issues here and there, but yes, I mean, it is not that it is not making any sense. Forensic, we are even having, now basically what I have done, I have created an agent in the background, right? So it is even using Benford's law, and we could use a lot of other things, we could use a lot of other theories that are very specific to auditing or finding the frauds, forensic, anomalies, whatever we may call, based on various parameters, PO matching, three-way matching, and all of those things. For now, what it has done, it has just run the Benford's law on invoice values and invoice numbers. Okay, this is great. I mean, it can do things for me, right? But the compliances change time to time. I mean, it has given me a general compliance. The compliances usually change time to time, right? They're not something fixed. They're not fixed. Next year, there is going to be next compliance. Plus, it is going to be different. For different customer, the compliances are going to be different. For state-wise or maybe country-wise, the compliances change complete 180 degree, right? So basically, what we can do here is, I can just go ahead. Okay, I have this, and I will just go ahead and manage the compliances. Now, what I'm trying to do, I created for the demonstration purpose, I created a small document. This is what holds my complete rules and compliances. It can be 1 document, it can be 10 document, it can be 100 document. We just have to be careful about it. Now, what I'll do is, I'll just say that, I hope this is the right document. Okay, so what it has already automatically done, so it has actually extracted the compliance rules from my document. And now I want that any of the transactions, or I want to check against my data that might be of any number of transactions, any number of invoices, or it can be, now basically in my word, this is actually a contract. Actually, the compliances come from the contract. It can be a contract, it can be a policy document, it can be any kind of document, what you call. The whole idea being some document from where the compliances are actually coming into picture, right? Now, I have that, okay. Now, I'll again go to my chat, okay. You did a great job. All right. Now, next is, I will go ahead and what I'll say is, I want to run a compliance based on my compliance check, based on my rules that I have defined, based on my tax rules that I have defined. Let's see if it is able to detect or not. It says, okay, run a compliance task. Basically what it has done, it has gone and basically it has executed. The task was already sitting into my system, and what it has done, it has found some compliance violations. Now, there is some formatting issue here. The reason being, obviously, all of this generation is happening real time. I mean, this generation it is not that, it has already happened. This is happening in the real time. So some of the values and some of the things might already be there. So basically, these are my detailed findings, and these are my categories, what it has done. So now, these are some of the tasks that I just demonstrated. Like I said, here, the data is not routing through the AI, and it is not coming back. I mean, that is not happening. What is actually happening, I'll tell you, what I have actually done. So basically, right. So basically, I have actually a small AI agent layer that is sitting on my local system, right? Now, this AI agent layer is a doer. That is, it does the task for me, right? It does the task for me. Now, it is actually going ahead and doing all of these tasks for me. Now, there is just a brain sitting here now that tells that, okay, this is what the user wants to do, this is what the user doesn't want to do. And all of these agents, they coordinate with each other in executing these tasks, right? It can, and this is just a demonstration, like I said, sky is the limit. We can go ahead and we can have any number of agents going all together. And I'm not using any of the AIs here, right? Like I said, it is a very small, minuscule solution that sits into my system and does all of this job for me, all of these reportings and everything and things for me. Yeah, I guess Okay. Yeah. And there are a few other tasks that are defined. For instance, I can go ahead and run a forecast report. I can go ahead and run a sales report. So these are the kind of further reports. Now, sky is my limit. I can go ahead and keep on adding those tasks. I can keep on adding help in, it can keep on running those tasks for me. I can schedule them. So sky is the limit here. So this was a small demonstration that I planned for. I guess that's it from me, and I'm open to questions.
Thank you so much, sir. It was an amazing session. Now I request CA Bishan Shahji and CA Rikan Patel, sir, RCM, WIRC, please come up on the stage and facilitate and give vote of thanks to CA Mr. Anirudh Shrivastava ji and Mr. Anand Trivedi ji. A big round of applause.
Thank you very much. I request all to be seated as
Kindly
we are
be seated.
not going to take much time. And as it is said, with insights deep and vision wide, you showed how AI can turn the tide in audits sharp with smarter space. Thank you for lighting up this space. Anirudh sir, you have given us a driving force for running this Google, and you expanded the word Google kar dena. We are always doing it, and we are going to try these Google thing in our day-to-day practice as well. We have our Krishna of GST, none other than our Umesh Sharma ji. Sir, thank you so much for driving us. Now we are seeing in you Sandipani also. So you are our guru for AI. Big round of applause to our CCM, sir. Sir.
Good afternoon all. I think there were two faculties, so two of us are being called for the vote of thanks. On behalf of everyone present over here, I extend my sincere thanks to Anandji for an insightful, engaging session and leveraging AI in financial audits. Your practical perspective truly added great discussion for all of us. Thank you so much, sir. I would also again thank AI in ICAI committee, Umesh sir, Daya sir, for organizing such an impactful AI summit. I think it was a very timely summit required, and thank you so much to the organizers for excellent organization. Thank you.